do is I'm going to put my hand on his pelvis, and the sequence is to do it passively first. So I'm going to be pushing downward for weight bearing for his knee into his foot into the mat. And I'm going to be protracting his pelvis. Okay? So he's not rolling. I'm protracting the pelvis, and it's only about 5 degrees, so it's not a lot of movement. Okay? Then I let him down. So that's the first thing I do, is do it passively. The next thing that I do is I want him to try to hold that movement. So again, I'm going to bring him up into protraction. I'm still going to keep my hand here and assist with weight bearing, but I'm going to ask Mark to hold that movement. Okay? He can hold it. Some of your patients are not going to be able to hold it. Now I'm going to let him down. Okay? You just add one thing at a time. Now what I'm going to do is do an eccentric. So I'm going to bring him up. I'm going to ask him to hold, and then I'm going to ask him to lower. And what I'm looking for is a nice, slow, controlled movement into lying flat, being in a neutral position of the pelvis, which he was able to do. Okay, some patients are not going to be able to release. Some patients are just going to fly. Now what I'm going to do, the next one is the concentric. So I'm going to ask him to lift up and to hold and to let it down. Okay? So that's what I'm looking for, is that he can do with that. But remember what we also said with NDT is anytime you're touching the patient, you're giving him cues. So I've been assisting this whole time with weight bearing, down through his knee into his foot into the mat. So I want to see, can he do this exercise, and can he maintain the weight bearing? So the last thing that I can add to this is that the patient does it with no hands from the therapist. Okay, so go ahead, lift up, hold, and let it down. Good. Okay. And then you can see